This video is going to look at questions 1 to 4 in 5A1. Before we do that, I just want to revise the idea of backtracking, which is where our steps in solving an equation actually come from. So if we start with this first question here, we have an n, and then from the n, we subtract 2. And that gives us, when we minus 2, n minus 2. And then we take our n minus 2 and we divide it by 3. And that gives n minus 2 divided by 3. Now to solve our equation, we just go backwards. So we multiply by 3 and we add 2. Sometimes in equations it gets tricky to know what to do first. So if you can put in your head the forward steps, you'll be able to work out the backward steps. So the one underneath, n divided by 3 gives you n over 3. Then we add 4 to get n over 3 plus 4. So the first thing we're going to do is minus the 4 and then multiply by 3. 7 times n gives us 7n. Then we subtract 19. 7n minus 19. And then we divide by 3. To get 7n minus 19, divide by 3. And then to work that out, we go backwards. We multiply by 3, we add 19, and then we divide by 7. Same thing over here. We've got n minus 4, gives us n minus 4, and we times that by 2. So 2 times n minus 4. And backwards we go divided by 2 plus 4. So we've got n minus 7, gives us n minus 7. Now this is divided by 12. And then we add a 3. And we go backwards. Minus 3 times 12 plus 7. Last one, we start with the n, times it by 2, divide it by 3, and add 12. Then working backwards, the first thing we would do would be to subtract 12, multiply by 3, and divide by 2. Okay, so we're going to start here where it says simple equations, just some revision. So I've got an x, I've times it by 5, and I've added 35. So if I was going to work backwards, I would do the reverse. Subtract 35 and divide by 5. And here's how we might do it a bit more formally. So minus 35 from both sides, 5x equals negative 35. And x equals negative 7. Okay, so question 2, we've got 3x plus 5 equals negative 10. So we've times the x by 3, then we've added 5. So we're going backwards. We're going to have to subtract the 5 and divide by negative 3. So minus 5 to both sides. (3x) equals negative 15. Divide by 3, and x equals negative 5. So question 3, we've got the x times by 2 and then we've added 9. So we're going to go backwards and subtract 9, divide by 2. So on the left-hand side we get negative 12 equals 2x. And that means x equals negative 6. Now we've got minus 3x, so x has been times by negative 3. Then we've added 4 to it. So moving backwards, we're going to plus the 4 divided by negative 3. And that leaves us with x equals 2. Okay, so let's practice some with simple fractions. I've got x divided by 2, and then all of that has a 3 added to it. So x divided by 2 plus 3. We're going to move backwards, which means we're going to minus 3 first and times 2 second. So minus 3 first gives us x over 2 equals to minus 8. Now we're going to multiply by 2. X equals negative 16. Okay, so we've got x, looking in here, x divided by negative 8, and then we've added 6 in here, 6. So we're going to move backwards by minusing 6 and timesing by negative 8. So let's do the 6 first, minus 6. It leaves us with negative x over 8 equals 4. The opposite of timesing and divide is each other. So multiply by negative 8 and we get x equals negative 32. Okay, so this time we've got x plus 5 all divided by 6. So we start with x, we add 5, and then we divide it by 6. So it's different to if we had x over 6 plus 5. The order is different. So we're going to go backwards by doing times 6 minus 5. So timesing 6 first of all gives us x plus 5 equals negative 6. Then minus 5, x equals negative 11. Now we've got 1 plus 2x in this case. So we start off with the x, we multiply it by 2, we add 1, and then we divide it by 5. So going backwards, times by 5 minus 1 divided by 2. So 1 plus 2x equals 7 times 5, which is 35. Minus 1 from both sides, 2x equals 34. X equals 17.